Assalamu alaikum, this is Huma Islam. Today's topic is Pledges of Aqaba. It occurred after Taif, the incident of Taif, and after Mi'raj. It's due to these pledges of Aqaba that the Prophet ﷺ was able to migrate to Medina. They are very important. You often get a question based on the pledges of Aqaba. And one thing to remember that the first time the Prophet meets with somebody, for some people, 6 people from Medina, it was just a meeting. Then the next year after that, it's the first pledge of Aqaba, and then the next year after that, it's the second pledge of Aqaba, and then he finally migrates. Okay, pledges of Aqaba. After Taif in 11th year of prophecy, 6 pilgrims of Hazrat tribe came to Makkah for Hajj. Now, everybody knows that people come to Hajj, they used to come from Makkah, they used to come from Medina and other places. 6 pilgrims from the Hazrat tribe from Medina came to Makkah for Hajj. And the names of these 6 people are Asad bin Zarara, Auf bin Harith, Rafi bin Malik, Qutbah bin Amir, Uqba bin Amir, and Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet preached to them and they accepted Islam. They went back to Yathrib and spread the message there. This is a meeting. Remember, this is not the first pledge. This is the first preaching that the Prophet did with these 6 peoples. It was just a meeting. People. It was just a meeting. And they met at the place of Aqaba. What is this place? Why is it called Aqaba? It is in Mina, where you throw stones to the Jamarat Aqaba, the biggest, Jamarat, the stone where you do the stoning of the devil. Now these people went back to Medina and told people about what the Prophet had said and who they had met. Then they come back in the next year. Remember, this happens in the 11th year, the first meeting that takes place. And then the first pledge, when they come for Hajj again, in the 12th year of prophecy, the first pledge of Aqaba takes place. 12 pilgrims came, including the previous 6. The ones that came last time, the 6, and then 6 more. They gave a pledge at the site of Jamarat Aqaba in Mina, took pledge not to worship others than Allah, and that they would not be unjust. They would live a righteous life. These were the pledges that they gave at that time at the first pledge. The pledge. You must, if you're answering a CIE question, you must add this quote as it is. We will not worship anyone but Allah. We will not steal, neither will we commit adultery, nor kill our children. We will not utter slander. What is slander? Accusing somebody of something. Intentionally forging falsehood, and we will not disobey you in any just matter. So you must add this pledge in your answer. If you want a 10-mark answer, if you want an 8, 9, or a 10, if you want to score this, please write this by heart and add it into your answer. First preachers in Medina. Now, this is the time after the first pledge of Aqaba. The Prophet ﷺ, what did he do? He sent the first preachers to Medina. The Prophet ﷺ sent 2 Muslims to preach Islam in Medina. One was Musab bin Umair. You know who Musab bin Umair is? He was the one whose mother threw him out of the house, and the Prophet cried when he was leaving at this time for Medina, because you could tell by his face that he has gone through a lot of turmoil. And the converted Aus leader Saad bin Muaz. These 2 people were sent, it was their duty to preach Islam in Medina. The 12 people in the first meeting and 10 were 10 from the Khazraj tribe and 2 from the Aus tribe. The Khazraj tribe was Waz bin Haris, Zakwan bin Abdul Qais, Abada bin Samit, Yazid bin Tha'alba, Abbas bin Abada, and from the Aus tribe there was Abul Haytham and Awaim bin Sa'ida. Then the second pledge takes place. In the 13th year of prophecy, when they come again, when everybody comes for pilgrimage to Makkah, and then they meet exactly the same place in Mina near the Jamarat Aqaba. In the 13th year of prophecy, 75 people now came to visit the Prophet ﷺ at the same place to pledge their allegiance to the Prophet. They invited the Prophet to come to Medina and they would protect him, and that they would protect him. And there were 2 women in the pledge as well. Nusayba bint Ka'b, who is also known as Umara. Umara is a famous woman who the Prophet says that at the time of Uhud, when I was attacked, everywhere I would look, I would see Umara trying to defend me. And Asma bint Amr, Muni. The pledge. What was this? The pledge this time first was based on beliefs, and this time it was based on, the difficulty that they're going to face if the Prophet goes there. To listen and obey in every difficulty and ease, to spend in plenty as well as in scarcity, to enjoy in good and forbid evil. In Allah's service, you will fear the opposition of none, because they were going to be opposed when the Prophet finally goes there. To aid me, who's me? The Prophet ﷺ, when I come to you in Medina, in other words, and protect me from anything you protect yourself. In other words, of course, one person protects their own life to the utmost extent, yeah, and your spouses and your children from, like how you protect your spouses, yourself, and your children. You will protect me exactly the same way. Then paradise is in store for you. After the pledge, common Muslims started migrating to Medina. So this, after the second pledge, when finally the Prophet found out that, okay, these people are willing to protect me. Remember, he went to Taif. He didn't get good response there. So now he's welcomed in Medina. So common Muslims started migrating. The Prophet was shown Medina in his dream as Darul Hijrat. Dar means the house of Hijrat, basically. Hadith, I have seen that I am leaving Makkah to a place where there are date trees. I thought it was Yamama or Hajar, but it was Medina. I have been, and then in another hadith, you can add these also. I have been shown your Darul Hijrat. It is between two volcanoes or a low valley. It is either Hijr or Yathrib. Yathrib is the old name of Medina. Causes of the need of migration. Why did they have to migrate in the first place? Why was it necessary? Why? Because the Makkans, they were ill-tempered, increasing composition and hostile towards Muslims. Whereas when they migrate to Medinites, the Medinites were soft-hearted, kind, cooperative, and helpful for preaching Islam. And the Makkans, they had developed hatred for the Prophet, whereas the Medinites had developed love for the Prophet ﷺ and were waiting for his arrival. Makkans, they were idol worshippers, whereas in Medina, Jews were present, people of the book were present, and they were on a divine religion. And the Jews were also waiting for the last prophet. So when the Medinites heard about, the last prophet coming from Makkah and then coming to Medina, they were so happy that the last prophet had come to the Bani Ismail. Abu Talib passed away and persecutions increased. The reason for migration was that now the strong tribal protection that the Prophet enjoyed was now taken away with the demise of Hazrat Abu Talib. And then there was so many assassination attempts. Even Darul Nadwa, the Quraysh had gathered there to plot to kill the Prophet ﷺ. And it was necessary for him to leave at this time so that Islam could carry on. And then the Medinites, remember, they were willing to protect the Prophet ﷺ with their own lives. Thank you. Islam.